Welcome to Daily Hope Behind the Music. We're drawing to the end of our series about Mark. We're in chapters 14 and 15 this week, which includes the final events before Jesus' crucifixion, the last few hours of his life on earth before his crucifixion and death. So we have the story of him going before the priests and the rulers, going before Pilate. We hear about Peter denying Christ, and then the sad story when they choose Barabbas instead of Jesus, and then talking about the cross where they nail a plaque that says, King of the Jews. So these are challenging hours, some challenging hours in Jesus' life. I remember when I was really young, I had a whole box of cassettes in my own cassette player. And I would listen to these Bible stories as I was playing or whatever. I didn't have iPads or anything like that. So the cassettes and the stories were things that I was listening to and learning all the different stories. And I remember when I listened to the story of these events leading up to Jesus' death on the cross, as a young child, it hit me hard. I did not ever want to hear that story again. I took the tape and I hid it, and I think it was probably years before I listened to it again. It's a raw and painful story. As we age, we become familiar with it. We hear it. We know what's going to happen. Jesus is going to die. There's a cross. There's soldiers. It's a thing. But I think it's important to take a little bit of time and just disconnect from what we know and actually think about how painful it was. He came here to die. It was not an easy death. He was beaten. There were nails in his hands. It was gruesome. And it's okay for us to remember what a sacrifice that was. So there's a text that talks about Jesus being the Lamb of God, Agnus Dei. It's used in many faith traditions, Anglicans and Catholics. And I'm going to read you the English translation that Lutherans usually use. Lamb of God, you take away the sin of the world, have mercy on us. It repeats, Lamb of God, you take away the sin of the world, have mercy on us. Lamb of God, you take away the sin of the world, grant us your peace. This text has been in use for over 1,000 years. There's chant from a long, long time ago, and then composers throughout the ages have taken this and tried to set it in a contemporary way to tell this story of Jesus being the Lamb of God through music. There's a contemporary composer, Margaret Sandresky, who just celebrated her 100th birthday. She was born in 1921. And she's a composer, an organist, a teacher. She's won so many awards. And she also has written a setting of the Mass for organ that includes an Agnus Dei movement. When I was at ASU, I had the privilege of working with her. She came and did a master class. She was right around 90 at this point. And I remember playing my piece for her at the organ. And if you've ever been to the organ hall, there are even more stairs leading to the organ than there are here at Victory. I finished playing, and she got up from where she'd been listening, and she just dashed up those stairs, slid on the organ bench, and said, let's see if we can try and pedal it like this. So much energy, you wouldn't even know that she was 90. It was just amazing, and a joy to get to know her and to be able to study some of her music with her. So today, I wanted to share this movement with you. Now, the original chant was kind of free. They had their systems, and maybe we'll go into that sometime in one of these. But for now, it was free. We didn't have this sense of 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. It was, a little bit more free. They had arsis and tasis and so on. So she tries to take this idea of freedom and sets it in a way that uses mixed meter. So sometimes it's in 5, sometimes it's in 6, sometimes it's in 7. I'm going to play you a part of the introduction, and I'm going to count for you just so you understand what we're going through here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. So you can feel it's got this sense of motion. We're never feeling settled. It's just moving and moving and moving. Now, Sandresky is an organist, and so she specified in this piece of music how she would like it registered. And she said, I would like to have a 4-foot as the solo. Now, on the organ, when you hear this 8-foot pitch, that's like where you would sing or where you would speak. So here we are. And she said to use a 4-foot. Now, a 4-foot is an octave higher. You take the 8-foot, divide it in half, and we're up an octave. So think of it maybe as like a children's choir or something like that. It's a higher. So here's this beautiful chant melody that comes from the old chant, which I have a picture of that you can see there. So I'm going to couple it together with the accompaniment that we heard at the beginning, and now we're adding this solo. You hear that? This really beautiful, kind of haunting melody. Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world, coming over this really steady foundation. I think she's made a really beautiful setting. So I wanted to share that for you this weekend as we come to the end of the chapters of Mark and just celebrate someone who's shared so much of her life to music and to teaching. So thank you, Margaret Sandresky. And I look forward to meeting with you all again next week. I hope you'll tune into worship on Sunday.